Hey guys, welcome back. So I have got my April favorites here for you today. So what I do in these videos, if you haven't seen them before, is I like to quickly go through my overall Friday favorites, and then I have other things to share. So like this time I have makeup-y things, a hair care thing, well actually a couple of hair care things, books of course, and yeah, just some fun things to share with you. So if you're new here, my name is Leslie. Welcome. I love to do favorites videos, new at the drugstore, get ready with me's, reviews, empties, just a lot of fun stuff here on my channel. So if you're new, I would love it if you hit that subscribe button and stuck around for a while. I'd love to have you here on my channel. So yeah, we are chatting about April favorites, so let's get to them. Okay, so for overall Friday favorites, for eyes, I had a hard time narrowing down. Really loved the Kaja little trio in Peach Madeline. There are just some beautiful metallic-y shades in here. Definitely check out my Friday favorites if you want to see, like, you know, swatches and stuff like that. But this is so good if you like a bright, sparkly lid. I love this. And specifically, Peach Madeline. Gorgeous. Really was kind of all about the smudgy liner. I don't know, just something about a smudgy brownie liner. So mainly I would use one of these two, the Mally Evercolor Gel Waterproof Liner in either hazelnut or amber. These are great. They apply really nicely, but then they wear really well. They don't tug on your eyes. They're just great liners. And then I would top it with this It Cosmetics Superhero No Tug Shadow Stick in Tenacious Tawny. And this has a really beautiful kind of warm tone to it. So I would apply one of these first, then this, then I would go back in with just a little bit of this to kind of redefine that, but have this sort of smudgy edges with this one. And something about the combo is just really beautiful and gives this kind of effortless sort of makeup look. So I was really all about that. Still love that combo. And then this Etude House Tear Eyeliner. Got this off of Amazon. This is number 4, and it's just this beautiful, sparkly, peachy champagne, technically liner, but I apply it to my lids and sort of like blend it out a little bit, and it gives this beautiful, just kind of light-catching sparkle, metallic, shimmery sheen on your lids. It's just fun. It's good. I love this color. Only thing is the packaging like doesn't have a clicker to tell that it's fully closed, so that's my only just feedback on it, but I love this. I really don't have a standout lip favorite because I was really kind of more about the smudgy liner or a bright cheek, so those are really kind of like my standout Friday favorites. So some cheek favorites, I love these Essence Baby Got Blush little cheek blush stick things. They're so good. They smell like watermelon Jolly Ranchers. Oh my goodness, I love the scent. And they wear really well. They're really cute. I would say specifically I've noticed this color wears very well. This is Peaches and Cream. So I've worn them by themselves. I'll wear them layered. If I want the best wear time, layered, you know, kind of helps with the longevity. But this one seemed to wear really well, and I love how it looks on the cheeks. It's so bright and beautiful and fun, and it's affordable. It's just good. And then these Hard Candy Face Off blushes. This one is Born Yesterday, and this one is Pop Star. So I like Born Yesterday by itself. Pop Star, I like it paired with something else, like this, because this one is more of like a highlighty lavender pink sort of color, but it pairs really nicely with this one. And these are just fun. They have kind of a different sort of an applicator, like almost like a lip gloss, little doe foot applicator, but the formula is great. They blend really well. They wear well. They're affordable. Yeah, I'm just really impressed with these little face-off blushes. They're good, and I love the packaging too. It's sort of like nostalgic 80s looking makeup packaging. I love it. Okay, now getting into some other makeup-y favorites. So I've been doing my brows a little bit differently. So I have never really been into brow gels, tinted or clear. I don't know why. I haven't really ever been into them. But for some reason, I thought, let me just try this one. And this is the CoverGirl Easy Breezy Brow in Light. I got this off of Amazon. I think it was like $4 or something when I bought it. And it's just that little tiny tinted brow gel kind of product with a little bitty spoolie applicator. And I kind of realized I do have more brows than I realized. I have more brow hairs. Now, I don't really have much of a tail on my brows, but I do have quite a bit in here. So I kind of started grooming my brows a little bit more and pulling them up, and then using clippers, well, not clippers, little tiny scissors, and sort of cutting them off the top so that I can bring my brows up and just really kind of, I don't know, use my brows for what I've got. And I do have some brow hair. Yeah, I mean, I knew I had it, but I don't know, I'm babbling. I've liked using this, is what I'm saying. And now that I've kind of clipped the brow hair and groomed it a little bit more, I'm able to kind of bring the brow hair up and then this part sort of out. And I'm liking the look. I feel like my brows are looking a little bit bushier, but I'm really just kind of grabbing the brow hair that's there, and I like it. So I think this is a good color match for me too, because I have more kind of, you know, cool tone blonde hair-ish. And I think that this, you know, is a good match. It's not too red. A lot of times I find that blonde has, or this is labeled light, but a lot of times brow products kind of lean a little bit too warm toned for me, and they end up almost pulling reddish or like a strawberry blonde. So that one is more just kind of a neutral, which I like. So I've been applying that first and then using this next. I love this. This is the NYX Lift and Snatch Brow Tint Pen, and I have it in taupe. Now this, I feel like, has a little bit of a learning curve to it because it's almost like an eyeliner, but that's what it looks like to me, like a liquid liner pen, but for your brows. And so I'll just take this and fill in, especially the front part, just do a few little strokes. Let me kind of show you. I mean, you're able to kind of make little tiny brow strokes. You know what I mean? It's really a genius sort of little product. And something about it, I feel like you're able to do the kind of brow looking strokes a little bit easier with this than even like a brow pencil. At least to look more like hair. I feel like there's more of a learning curve with using this versus a pencil, but the look of it is very hair stroke looking. You know what I mean? Like it looks like I've got little hairs on my hand. So I'm impressed with this. I like it. I got this off of Amazon too, but I mean, you can get it other places too. And yeah, the Lift and Snatch Brow Tint Pen. It says micro brush tip for hair-like strokes. I like it. Like I said, it took me a little bit to kind of get used to it. So this is sort of different, but I'm really liking it. I'm really, really liking it. So yeah, that's what I've been doing for my brows. An under eye product that I am so impressed with. This is the Catrice Under Eye Brightener Instant Awake. This is so good. I told my mom about this too. She ordered it. She loves it too. It is this color correcting, really hydrating under eye product. So if you are looking for color correction for your under eyes and you've got kind of that discoloration under there like me, those sort of shadowy looks, but also you don't want something drying under your eyes, I would say give this product a try. The key with this is don't use too much. I use very, very little. You can always go back and add more. When I initially tried it, I used too much. I did not like it when I first tried it because I had too much product. So just get the tiniest little bit. I have used it with a brush. I like it with a brush. I've used it with my finger. Today I applied it with my finger, just kind of dabbed it right on the inner corners of my eyes, just right here. That's where I start it. And then I just blend it out and take the just tiniest little excess of it out on this part. But the main area is right there where I have the most discoloration and the most shadowing. But yeah, this is just so nice and hydrating. I think it has, let's see. Yeah, it says brightener with shea butter. Yeah, and I can tell. I mean, it's just so hydrating feeling. Has this little bit of like a glow look under the eyes, and I think it's really just that hydration. You can sort of see it there. That it just, I don't know. I mean, I like to set it because you can even see it there. It's got quite a bit of glow to it, but it's just good. It's color correcting, and then it's nice and hydrating. So I do top it with a concealer. You don't necessarily have to do that, but like I have a concealer on top of it right now, just because that's usually what I do with a color correcting sort of a product. But you have the option to wear it by itself or pair it with a concealer like I do. And it's great. when I pair it with a concealer, I put just a little tiny bit of concealer right there and dab and sort of blend that out. So, but less is more. I feel like with really any makeup, but especially under eye products, foundations, things like that, I use very, very little, and you can always go back and add more if you need more. Okay, next, a hair tool, but I wanted to give a shout out first to my heat protectant that I love, which is the Laneige Rival Heat Shield. I've used this for a while, and I really think it has helped my hair. My stylist has even said that she feels like my hair is looking healthier on the ends, and because I use a lot of heat on my hair, so I definitely need a heat protectant. So I've been a lot more consistent with using this, not only before I use a heat tool like a styler or something, but even before my blow dryer. I've been doing it too. So, I mean, I know that's a heat tool, but like I'm talking about like a waver or curling iron. Even before that, I'll use it when my hair is wet before I blow dry it. And yeah, I really like this one. I don't feel like it weighs down my hair. I mean, I concentrate it here. I don't put it on my roots, but I just feel like it's good. I really like it. Okay, heat tool. So, y'all know I love my Hot Tools deep waver that looks so dirty, and this is after me cleaning it or trying to. I've had this for a long time, and it looks pretty rough because I've used it a lot and I love it. So this is the Hot Tools deep waver. Still love that, and I use it regularly. It's amazing. But I just recently got this bedhead, it says, "A Wave We Go." That's so cute. "A Wave We Go" is what this is called. So I had a tool like this years ago and it stopped working for some reason. I mean, I'd had it for forever. The cool thing about this is it's adjustable. Now, my favorite is where the wave is the deepest. It looks pretty similar to my deep waver. Like the end result looks really close to my deep waver. But I like hair tools. I think they're fun. And this one is neat that you can adjust it. So this is all the way out for the plate here, but it can shift down also. So it can go all the way right here, which is going to give you more of like a crimpy sort of a look because there's not going to be a lot of change in the wave. You know what I mean? It's going to be a little tiny wave, which looks a little bit more crimpy. Then it can go up to there, and then all the way to there. So I guess technically 4 different settings. I've even tried to kind of do part of my hair one setting, part of my hair a different setting. That's the fun thing about something like this, is you can kind of play with it in different ways. But I would say if you are like me and you have fine flat hair, get yourself a waver. I feel like that is like my #1 favorite hair tool because it is fast. Even on days that I don't, I don't know, I don't want to look a super involved curly hair look or something, but I just want some texture, movement, something to my hair. I love grabbing my waver and I can just do it so fast. I mean, I'm not good at hair tutorials, so I don't really do hair tutorials, but all I do is just grab random sections and go down my hair clamping until it's all done. I don't section my hair, and I kind of feel like doing it sort of willy-nilly, whatever way, makes it not look quite as defined. You know what I mean? And then I flip my head over, I kind of shake my head around to sort of break up the waves, flip my head back over, and I even will kind of wave some upside down. When my head's upside down, I'll look in the mirror and see like underneath. And I literally just grab random sections until it looks all waved. And then I flip it over, sort of fluff it a little bit, and spray it with hairspray. That's really all I do. I do the same thing with my deep waver. So yeah, I love a waver. I just love them. I feel like they are a great way to add volume and just something to fine, flat, straight hair. And this one's fun. I like this one. Okay, now we're on to books, and we've got quite a few to talk about. So I'm still in my romance era. I'm loving romance books right now, and I have been really finding some great Christian fiction that I'm loving, and Christian historical fiction, and that has a combo of like a mystery and a romance in it, and I've just really been loving it. I've got one that I'm like, oh my goodness, I love that book so much. So first off, these are not Christian romance. These are, they're not clean, but they're not that much spice at all. So let me go through each of them. So first off, Abby Jimenez, Part of Your World. So this one has a little bit of cussing in it, I think, but I don't think it was very much. And there's like very minimal spice in this book. I would say maybe like a half a page, and it wasn't very descriptive, which kind of surprises me because I almost didn't read this book because it starts with a trope that I really don't want to read about. But this is actually a really sweet story. It's you know, she comes to this small town where he's like the mayor of this small town. She's from a big city. She's like, I think she's a doctor or a surgeon. It's been a while since I read this one. This was one of the earlier ones that I read. Anyway, she's, yeah, surgeon, I think. Yeah, she's in the medical field and she's up there and she's doing well at her job. So she's a, you know, career woman, and they're from different worlds, but their interaction is just really sweet and heartfelt. And there's an age gap. She is older than him by almost 10 years. And it was just sweet. I mean, I really, really liked it. I'm excited about more books from Abby Jimenez because it was very sweet. Then A Brush with Love. This is so cute. This is really kind of like a, I don't know how you would describe it. I guess like a friends to lovers sort of a storyline. This has the most spice of the three of them. And I think it was like one scene that was maybe like, I think a page or a page and a half or something like that. So you could very easily skip that over. But it was cute and funny and sweet. They're both in dental school. A Brush with Love. So cute. And he wants to date her, but she's like really into school. She's trying to stay focused. She has her plans. And it's just kind of like their friendship to, you know, falling in love. And it was just really sweet. I very much enjoyed this book. It was adorable. Then You Deserve Each Other by Sarah Hogle. So this one, I had heard that people would say, oh man, I was kind of hating this book, but then suddenly loved it. So it's about their fiancés, and they're both just kind of like feeling like they're not in love with each other anymore, and kind of both sort of, she's for sure like wanting to end things. She feels like he does too, but neither of them want to kind of like end it because they've already started planning their wedding. And so they kind of start like turning on each other and messing with each other, almost like the movie How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. If you like that movie, I think you would like it. But like when they're picking on each other, her inner thoughts were cracking me up. There's actually minimal cussing in here, but the words that are in here, I mean, it's like GD, which I really hate. But it's in there, but not that many times. But I just wish it weren't in there. Anyway, so a little side note on that, it's in there. But her inner thoughts are so funny, and they're pretty mean to each other. But there were some, I kept giggling out loud at the first half of this book. But then when they kind of start like realizing maybe they do really have a friendship and a bond, it got really sweet. And I think this book has some really good things to kind of think about and say about how we think about our partner, how we observe what they're doing, and how do we take it? How do we kind of, you know, what they're doing or saying, they might mean something totally different than what we're observing. You know what I mean? So communication and really like understanding each other and each other's motives and each other's hearts. And so that I really loved about it. And the end of the story is just so, so sweet. Very little spice in this. I think there was one scene and it wasn't overly descriptive. So yeah, super cute books. All of these were really good. Okay, and then some great Christian fiction. I'm so excited about these books and these authors because really for a while, mainly I just loved Francine Rivers. I mean, I've always loved Francine Rivers, but she was kind of just my go-to Christian fiction author, and now I'm finding some that I really, really like. So, I don't know what, I think I would say, let's start with this one. This is A Noble Masquerade. This is part of a series. It's the only one I've read so far. This is by Christy Ann Hunter. If you like Bridgerton, those kind of vibes, I think you'd really like this book. And I don't know about the rest of the series, but I assume I'm going to like the rest of the series too, because she is sort of, you know, like in that, season, the Tawn, things like that. But it's kind of like cutesy, and she's getting a little bit older. I mean, spinsterhood, I think she's what, like 20 or 21 or something. And I don't even know how to describe the story. Okay, so yes. So it's kind of like To All the Boys I Loved Before, where she's writing to her brother's best friend, but sort of like just randomly sharing her thoughts and writing letters to him, never intending for them to be sent to him. And then they get sent to him by the valet that is working at their house. And she becomes like intrigued with the valet, and the story goes from there. I don't want to reveal anymore, but there is definitely some kind of sweet, lighthearted humor. It didn't really make me laugh out loud, but it made me smile. There is definitely romance in this book. There's some mystery and some adventure in the book, and it was great. So all of these are Christian fiction, so they're totally clean. There's no spice, there's no cussing, so totally clean books. But this was just so good. I really liked it. I'm excited to read the other ones and more from this author. Then I read A Deep Divide. This is also part of a series from Kimberly Woodhouse. And this is well, they're all historical fiction, all the ones I'm going to share. Always check trigger warnings. There's one I'll get to in a second. That's always a good idea for books in general. But this one has a really interesting premise because it is about one of the Harvey houses, which my love for Native American jewelry made me kind of start researching and reading about Harvey houses and how a lot of jewelry was sold. And that's why you see things that are labeled Fred Harvey jewelry, because it was Fred Harvey's Harvey houses that they would sell Native American made jewelry. And so I've always been kind of intrigued by that in general since I learned about it. And this is a storyline that takes place at one of the Harvey houses that actually I think the restaurant is still there. The El Tovar, I think is how you pronounce it, at the Grand Canyon. So that's the setting. There's fun history in this. But this girl is basically trying to start her life over. And she's had some things happen in her past. She doesn't really trust men. She doesn't trust rich people because of her past and things that have gone on in her past, and that's kind of like the basic premise of the story. And there's some mystery adventure in this story. There's history, there is romance in it, and it's just good. I really like her writing style too. Both of these were easy to read. Her writing style, Kimberly Woodhouse, so easy to read. Like, I don't want to say that it's like simple writing because that almost sounds like a negative, but just very relaxed writing. You can just relax into it and enjoy reading it, and I really appreciate that. So I'm excited to read more from her. There's 2 more in this series that I'm excited to read, and yeah, she also has other books that I definitely want to read. Next up, A Castaway in Cornwall. This is by Julie Klassen. She has a lot of books, and I'm very excited to read more from her because I really, really like her writing style. This one is about a girl that she's never really felt like she belonged. She lives with her, basically like her uncle, but through her aunt's marriage. You know what I mean? Like it was her aunt and then her uncle, her married uncle, you know what I mean. So now she lives with her uncle and his new wife because her aunt passed away. So she kind of has never felt like she belonged, and so she kind of feels like, you know, a castaway in Cornwall. And then one day a shipwreck happens. Before that happens, she's always kind of liked to collect things along the beach that have, you know, come up from shipwrecks and things like that. And she's always been intrigued by that. And then she'll try to return the things to the families if she can figure it out who they belong to. Well, one day a shipwreck happens and a person, you know, survives and washes up. So then she starts kind of taking care of him, but it's a question of who is he? She's trying to nurse him back to health, but kind of there's questions about who is he? Where is he from? So again, there's great history. Time period is interesting. The mystery is interesting. There's sweet romance in this. I really liked her writing style. The writing style of this felt historical, but not difficult to read, which again, I really appreciate. I don't want to have to stumble over words and try to like really work at reading a story. This was relaxed to read and just really good, and I loved the combo of the mystery, the character, there was just a good balance of character, mystery, romance. It's good. I feel like I've been talking for a long time, but this one, standout favorite read. Love this book so much. This is When the Day Comes. This is by Gabrielle Meyer. This is book 1. There's a book 2. Can't wait to read that. This is the one I would say definitely check trigger warnings. Now, the main trigger in this one, it's in there, but it's not described in detail, but there's a few sentences that mention the trigger. So just know that about it. Check the trigger warnings on this one. But this is a time travel book, and it's so good. So she lives in 2 different time periods. and she has to decide which time period she wants to live in permanently when she turns 21. Such an interesting premise. That's really kind of all I want to say about it, because I don't want to give too much away. That just right there sets the stage for it. There is mystery in this. There's adventure, there's history. She's living around like the 1914 time period and 1914 and 1774, I think. So there's character, heart in this, and relationships, family dynamics. There's mystery, adventure, romance. It's so good, so sweet. All of these have faith in them. These are all Christian fiction books. I would say probably talked about the most in this one, but all of them have it in there. I mean, because they're Christian fiction books, so just know that about it. And I love that. I love that about it. So these are all so good. All right, you guys, that was a lot of talking, but I hope that you really enjoyed this video. Please do a thumbs up if you did. Let me know down below what you have been loving in any of these categories or any others. I'd love to hear your monthly favorites. Let me know that down below. Ask me any questions that you have. I'm happy to answer those. Please subscribe to my channel if you're not already, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.